We are reading about the Declaration of Independence, which was a letter to King George III, and it was adopted on July 4th, 1776. The Declaration of Independence was the first formal statement by any nation's people asserting their right to choose their own government, that it's a right. We get to choose our own government. Thomas Jefferson drafted it because he wrote the first version of it. The Declaration of Independence was divided into 5 sections. There was an introduction, a preamble, a body. The body was divided into 2 parts, 2 sections, as well as a conclusion. In general terms, the introduction effectively stated that seeking independence from Great Britain had become necessary for the colonies, basically saying that we need to declare independence because we need to. While the body of the document outlined a list of grievances, a list of complaints against the British Crown. So we're saying we need to revolt. This list of complaints is why we need to. The preamble includes the most famous passage. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. Translate that, we hold these truths to be self-evident. That means that we, the people who are in the Second Continental Congress, representing the people of the 13 colonies, we hold these truths, these facts, to be obvious. All men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that they are given and created by God with certain rights that no man can take away from them because they were given by God. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. What rights did God give us in our creation? Life, you have the right to be alive. Liberty, you have the right to freedom. You have the right to representation. You have the right to participate and to have opinions. And the pursuit of happiness, you have the right to pursue your happiness. It's not a guarantee. You are not guaranteed happiness. But this was a nod to, the old feudal system. You were born into your lot in life. And whatever you were born as, a peasant, a slave, a lord, a king, that's what you were going to be for the rest of your life. And you were not going to change that. Whereas in the colonies, this belief had come up that you could rise above your station if you worked hard enough. You have the right to pursue, through hard work, your happiness. And I get it, but you can pursue it. But to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men. To protect these rights, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, to protect those rights, people create governments. Because the point of a government is to protect the people's rights. And the governments get their just powers. They get their rightful powers to protect our rights. They get the powers they need to protect our rights by permission of the people, by the consent of the governed. In Congress, July 4th, 1776, a declaration by the representatives of the United States of America. Oh, we're calling ourselves the United States of America. Oh, what do you think the King of England is going to think about that? So, most Americans did not know that Thomas Jefferson was the principal author of the Declaration of Independence until the 1790s. Before that, the document was seen as a collective effort by the entire Continental Congress. So when the actual Revolutionary War was going on, people thought that Congress had all gotten together and just been this really, just working together group to create this document. Whereas the truth is, Thomas Jefferson pretty much wrote the entire thing. And he said, hey, I got it. And then the entire Congress went through and edited it. For instance, the part that he put in there about slavery being a hideous blot, they got rid of that because the southern colonies wouldn't tolerate it. There were several things in there that they edited, changed, altered. But Thomas Jefferson was the primary original author. I hope that this is helpful, and I hope that you're doing well.